Have you ever needed to cancel an important event? At the beginning of the pandemic, all kinds of events were canceled around the globe. No matter the size of the event, a cancellation is the worst case scenario for event planners. Today we will discuss how you can cancel an event gracefully and how to alleviate the downsides of possible cancellations in the future. I'm Raid, here with Jotform. Let's get into it. First, before the event even starts, you need to plan for the possibility of a cancellation. Planning for a cancellation should start in the contracting phase. This is where you are setting yourself up for success regarding your ability to cancel in the future. If you do need to cancel, then the contract terms you set with the venue will play a big role in determining your options and obligations. While planning your event, think of all the different scenarios that may play out and negotiate a venue contract that covers you. Focus on negotiating a contract with a solid force majeure clause. This is a common clause in contracts. It frees both parties from obligations in the case of an extraordinary circumstance that would prevent the fulfillment of contract terms. This could be something like a natural disaster, but it varies depending on the exact language of the contract. These clauses have taken on sudden relevance as the unprecedented nature of the COVID-19 pandemic has taken shape. The pandemic and response constitute a force majeure event in many contracts. When it comes to physical collateral, minimize the use of specific event details. It's a good idea to keep event-specific details such as the venue name and date off of any physical collateral. This can include lanyards, signs, and gift packages. This allows you to reuse these items if any of these details change due to a cancellation. Then, before you cancel the event, see if you can postpone it instead. This is often a much better option than canceling. Have a conversation with your vendors and sponsors to find out all of your options, including financial and logistic effects of a postponement. But if your event is recurring, cancellation may still be the better choice. It's important to keep in mind that canceling an event is disappointing for all parties involved. So rather than dictating the terms of the cancellation, be sure to be transparent and work with everyone involved in the event. Cooperate with them to find the best solution for all parties involved. This cancellation could be an opportunity to build those relationships further. Be sure to work with your venue and vendors. You may be able to apply some portion of what you owe towards a future event. For instance, if you are hosting an event at a hotel, the last thing that they want is to lose a big piece of business and take money from you based on the terms of your contract. They lose out on way more revenue. They would much rather work with you to make sure that you can have the event at a later date. Have a conversation with your sponsors. Having transparency, respect for the relationship, and a willingness to work things out can go a long way when it comes to working with sponsors for a canceled event. You should always be open with your sponsors and see if you can find other ways to regain their costs. If you are able to postpone, you can talk to them about moving their sponsorship to a future event. And lastly, be sure to communicate with your attendees. Once you know your event is being canceled, inform your attendees right away. This is especially important if some of them will be traveling to attend. Be honest, considerate, and take responsibility for the consequences. Email everyone individually and post the news publicly on your social media accounts. And if people paid to attend, be sure to refund them as soon as possible. If you had to cancel a business conference for customers and other members of your community, be sure to follow up personally through relationship managers. If you only issue a generic announcement, that can be very disrespectful to those relationships. Having to cancel an event is disappointing for everyone involved. Try to see if there's any way you can still provide value to your attendees, like putting on a digital event, sharing helpful information, or letting attendees know that you are preparing for the next event. Okay, let's review. You should plan for the possibility of a cancellation before the event even begins. Be sure to negotiate a contract with a solid force majeure clause in case of extraordinary circumstances. Don't use any specific event details on your physical collateral so that you can reuse them in the future if anything changes from your cancellation. See if you can postpone the event rather than canceling it. And at the end of the day, you need to be as transparent as possible with all those involved. This includes your vendors, sponsors, and attendees. Everyone involved should know the details of the event cancellation and how it affects them. You will want to keep these relationships strong for future partnerships. Thank you so much for watching today. I'm Raid here with Jotform. Have a good one.